Alright, Bluescreen Bronies here on Sunday, and in case anybody's wondering, yes, I'm Draco, and yes, I am doing much, much better. Got my,
So glad to have you back.
yeah, got my co-host here. Go ahead and sound off, guys.
Alright, I'm D-Pad.
I'm viral.
Oh, we got one extra guest here. I wonder who it is. It can't be Crescendo because she's gone.
Yeah, there's somebody different here. I'm not quite sure either. Some
Who
weird
let this guy in?
I can't put my finger on it. Who is missing?
I thought we had a restraining order, TechRat. I thought we were going to agree to honor this.
You didn't sign it in the right places.
Damn it!
Oh boy.
I hate to tell you.
Did you forget to initial?
I am not legally obligated to remain 100 feet away from you. Not yet, anyway.
Yes, the wonderful. I'm going to borrow Joe Stevens' word there. TechRat.
Wonderful.
Wonderful
Good
TechRat.
evening, gentlemen. Happy to be here.
If you didn't know, he likes games.
I kind of do, yeah. It's sort of a guilty pleasure of mine, you could say.
In
Kind
fact,
of hard to be guilty about it.
he
True.
kind of agrees with Scootaloo, and he wants to show us games to play.
I do. But not the games that Scootaloo wants to play.
No.
I tend to avoid those kinds of games.
Yeah, they're kind of bad sometimes.
But Global Thermonuclear Wars is an amazing game, if that movie taught me anything.
I prefer a nice game of chess.
Darn,
had Mavis
TechRat
Bacon teach me chess.
out-referenced me.
Indeed.
Alright, guys.
So,
There's a lot of stuff going on the past 2 weeks. Mainly, my childhood is dead.
You're starting off with a big one tonight, man. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Disney decided to shut down their in-house development team, LucasArts, since they went and bought Star Wars and everybody.
I felt a disturbance in the force, like 106 developers cried out and were suddenly silenced.
and then their fans took up the pitchforks.
Oh
God.
my gosh.
I mean,
Yep.
What to say about this? I tell you what.
you know, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say that they really don't need an in-house game developer. Look at, Kingdom Hearts. It's not an in-house studio that does that.
This is true.
But then again, you look at Epic Mickey, and it was awesome.
Mhm.
And then they shut that down
Yep.
with no real reason behind it, other than they wanted to save money. Which, in a business sense, is a 100% valid reason.
I think one thing that they're losing by doing this is they're losing the creative consciousness of the development team. I mean, sure, you can license out a property to another company, but you're not getting LucasArts' creative process behind whatever it is they're going to develop. And I think that's a fairly major loss here. I mean, I understand their business logic behind it, but I'm afraid there might be a creative gap with future titles, personally.
Yeah.
Indeed, it won't have the same feel.
It's not going to.
Well,
Yeah.
True, because LucasArts wasn't just Star Wars. They had games like Monkey Island, and didn't they do Grim Fandango a little bit too?
Grim Fandango, they did Full Throttle, they did,
yeah.
you said the Monkey Island series. I mean, such a wide variety of games. And that's what bugs me the most about this. If you read the press release that Disney released for this, they're like, and then we can have a, what do they say, a larger portfolio of Star Wars games. And I slapped my forehead when they said that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That's all you think LucasArts is Star Wars?
Yeah,
That just really frustrated me.
to be honest with you, though, Shadows of the Empire was a good Star Wars game, but it wasn't the same known universe that we know, It was from a different perspective.
Right?
That
Yeah.
was the N64 game. Very, very good game. Very fun.
What was the one I'm thinking of? It was the old Doom style shooter.
Oh,
Was it-
Dark Forces.
Dark Forces, I love that game.
Yes,
It was so
that
hard.
was an
Fantastic game.
amazing game.
Yeah, I've been
That
thinking
was-
about loading that back up, actually. That's an excellent game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Alright,
not forget Rogue Squadron as well.
there's also another couple games, Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy, which I do believe Jedi Academy 2 still has private servers running.
Wouldn't be
would be cool.
surprised.
I'm not familiar with those games.
It's where you get to
Are you
make your own
familiar with Jedi
Jedi,
Knight?
basically.
Yeah, you make your own Jedi, you get PvP. It's kind of like Quake of Jedi. Though.
Yeah. It's Dark Forces 3, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast.
Yeah.
I believe that's the way the series progressed. But it's in the Dark Forces series, actually.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this is going to do, because they released a source code for both games, and this is just going to be amazing.
In before C&D from Disney.
Yeah, really, the fan game don't even have a chance.
I don't know. I mean, if the developers release a source code, what kind of control does Disney actually have over it?
License.
And just want to point something out from something somebody said in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Light Shadow, the fate of Star Wars The Old Republic is completely different because that is run by BioWare and EA.
Yeah.
And by run, I mean run into the ground.
BioWare has done some really good Star Wars games, but LucasArts has had nothing to do with it. That's the thing. It's more of just George Lucas giving guidance here and there on the story, and that's about it. It's their own arts, their own storylines, their own everything. They made up the entire universe.
So it's not really based so much on the expanded universe, like from the novels and such?
Nope.
Kinda a little bit. They took their own little draw from it, though. They said
You're
it.
familiar with Knights of the Old Republic, right, Tech?
Absolutely.
That is the universe that it is set in. I believe it's set roughly about maybe 1,000 years after KOTOR.
Okay.
It's set after KOTOR a bit because you can fight Revan as a raid boss, or not raid boss, but a dungeon boss, and as a Sith.
Yeah, the ship you actually start KOTOR on is actually a questing hub, or I should say, it's ruined Hulk.
Oh, interesting.
All right. We also have another bit of Star Wars news here. 1313 was going to be about Boba Fett. The emphasis on was. Jerks.
Yeah, this is a big disappointment, especially to me. For those of you who remember Bounty Hunter, the Jango Fett game for the GameCube, this, from what I've heard, would have been the spiritual successor. And I think I played Bounty Hunter into the ground, for God's sake.
I can't imagine what Disney's going to say to try to appeal to. How many people are in the Star Wars fandom? 13 million people?
And
It
you basically
makes
killed
the
their god.
Trekkies look minuscule.
Yep.
It has nothing on the Harry Potter fandom. Holy crap, 32 million fans?
Now, the silver lining in all this is that they didn't say that the game was dead. They've halted development on it. So, there's still that glimmer of hope that maybe they will license this particular game out to another studio to finish, which could have all kinds of results, but...
Or it could go like Mega Man Legends 3.
Too.
Or it could go like Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah, Mega Man Legends 3. Oh, it'll be out sometime. We haven't forgot about it, and it's collecting dust.
We're gonna have fan input and everything. It's gonna be the greatest game ever. No, we're killing
Dead in the water.
Oh, just wanted to point out, TechRat's favorite song just came on. It is about Trixie.
Oh my!
It's a Lauren G.
Before we lose him.
Lauren G.
I'll be back later. See you guys. No.
Wizard hat. All right. Now, I don't know what to say to it because Sega decided to release that Aliens Colonial Marines isn't as good as the trailer. Oh, gee, really? You didn't notice that?
Not really, they decided. They were kind of strong-armed into, hey, you screwed up. You better give a disclaimer because, I played the game.
But they did apologize. I mean, come on, funnel the money.
About that? In regards to that disclaimer, now it just says, not indicative of actual gameplay, which doesn't really change all that much, because you see a trailer, you're automatically going to think, oh, this is a pre-demo. So that means the game is going to be even better than this.
Huh.
I'm sorry, there was so much beef in that article that I kind of just started eating chili.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second. How many countless other times have we been in a similar situation like this?
A lot.
Where the actual game has never been indicative of what the advertisement said it was. And I think this is the first time I've ever seen where a studio actually went back and added a disclaimer to the advertisements. This never had to happen before. I mean, I'm not trying to defend Colonial Marines. It's a crummy game, but Was this really necessary? That's what I want to know.
Well,
Was there that much of a backlash where they felt they had to do this?
Oh yeah, there was definitely that much of backlash, but really, to be honest with you, it's Gearbox's fault. They're the ones that outsourced it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not to mention the demo is, a good 20% better. Well, more than 20%.
You had to use the 20%, didn't you?
I had to. I felt
You had to wedge out one in there.
Do I have to go get my Rainbow Dash plushie?
I'm surprised you haven't been hugging it all this time.
No,
True
it's
that.
still hiding in the box. It's been sitting there taunting me for 3 days.
But like I was saying, the demo is just so significantly better in every conceivable way than the actual game.
It looks like a different game.
Yeah, it does. Even the modders can't get it up to that level.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it looks like a different game. It plays different, the graphics are different, the layout's different, the AI is different, everything's so different. It's like you're playing... The first one, you're playing a game from the future, and the second one, you're playing a game from the past.
Okay, here's a dumb question. Were the demo and the final product developed by the same company?
No.
Not really.
No, demo was developed by Gearbox. The final
Gearbox
product was
itself.
developed by, what was it? Timegate?
Timegate, Demiurge, and Flux.
3 different developers on the same project, and you can definitely tell the difference.
Too many cooks, you know what they say.
Too many cooks, and the cooks don't know how to code. They didn't even use DirectX 10.
Nope.
Ew.
What?
Not to mention the game looks like it's from 2007.
Aren't most games running DX11 now?
Mm-hmm.
Or can support it at least.
Jeez.
I don't know. But, hey, guess what? Square Enix decided to actually take fault for their, I guess you could say, mishandling of Final Fantasy XIV.
you don't say.
How late are they in admitting this?
Pretty late. I mean, they're taking a full review of the company, which means people are getting laid off. Specifically in LA. People are getting laid off. CEOs stepping down. Square Enix is taking a big hit.
What do you expect releasing an MMO in a world where MMOs are kinda going bye-bye in terms of the old click button ability happens style
Well, it's
of
not
World
even
of
that.
Warcraft.
They said it's a different game than Final Fantasy XI, yet they use the same races just about. They just call them different names. And they use the same areas just about.
It's essentially Final Fantasy XI with touched-up graphics.
Barely.
But, you know what? I can agree with that. But it's also Final Fantasy XI with touched up mechanics, because the new version, which I got a chance to see the alpha test video of it, looks completely different than the first version of Final Fantasy XIV, which is a healthy sigh. And I say sigh because it's still like, oh, you're releasing a game that failed once. This isn't going to possibly backfire at all.
So,
Nope.
pardon my ignorance, but what was the actual reason 14 tanked?
It tanked because the gameplay was so horrible, the servers weren't ready. Basically, if you wanted to equip a sword, you are now a knight. A lance, or no, they didn't have lances. If you wanted to equip a rod, you're now a mage. That is the stupidest idea ever.
You know the funny thing about that, Draco? Isn't that kind of how a new game works?
Kinda, sorta,
Partially.
Maybe.
Well, in case you've been hiding underneath a rock all week, there was something called April Fool's Day, I guess? I don't know. And a lot of gaming companies got on it. Like, just trolled everybody.
Except Blizzard.
I don't know.
Blizzard
Bloodhounds.
rehashed the same old, and I just want to hold on. I'm going to pause the music. Even though that Astro Timo song is awesome,
It is pretty great.
we're going to watch this awesome video from April Fool's Day that came straight from 1983, and it is wow. It's just the amount of detail they put into kind of destroying the video quality is amazing.
I just watched it while you guys were talking about Final Fantasy, and man, it took me back. It took me back to the times of high tops and jean jackets, I tell you what.
Oh man, what was that tape distribution company that did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I think it was like LPN or something like that.
DIC?
No, maybe DIC. They had such weird graphics, it wasn't even funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Funny you mentioned VHS. I've actually just looked over at my TV stand, and I've got the the original trilogy of Star Wars that I found at Goodwill.
I just noticed this, and I don't know why I just noticed this. The year is 2007. It is the future. I'm sorry, what?
Oh yeah. The whole description
says
is
it right
so
there.
great. I mean, God, Ubisoft really did a good job on this one. Also, not to mention, it's actually a thing. We've seen a little bit of gameplay footage. They're kind of overhauling Far Cry 3 into this 80s-looking futuristic arena.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment here and see if anybody notices anything in this video here. This is a game called War Thunder, and let me just pause it real quick here and tell you something. If you play with a mouse and keyboard, you will die. It is hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so hard. You need a flight stick for this. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this to the new reveal. Let's see if anybody notices.
Is that the Transformers?
Yeah, sure, Transformers with feathers.
Yep.
Magic,
Totally
friendship.
Transformers.
Oh boy, I think it's funny because this is a playable nation, I guess you could call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
Oh, the rage comments in that YouTube video was priceless.
Oh,
It
it was
was
worth reading.
priceless.
Can we show it on the show? Cause
Oh no.
I didn't think so.
And then Guild Wars 2 decided to make their own, and they kind of mimicked a show called Captain N.
A little bit.
And that was
Partially.
I tell you what, 80s VHS tapes was like a theme this year.
Oh yeah.
At least 3 different companies went that route.
it's kind of cool. I mean, yeah, it's it's awesome, but it's more of like they go so far out of the way to do this. Why can't they put a simple patch out on the game on Tuesday?
Because then they'd have to find something else to break.
True.
Well, the Guild Wars one was playable, and
Oh, yeah.
can you still access it now, or was it only available for the one
No,
day?
no, it's available all through April.
Yeah, all through April. There was an April Fool's game by League of Legends called Chew. I could pull up a video real quick. It's
Riot really pulled out all the stops with this one.
Just a little heads up on this video. If it's the one I think Drago's going to play, the sound is a little iffy.
Hello, Rampage.
I'm so happy that they kept the jump on the top of the building trick.
It's
Yep.
so weird.
Dude, I played 80s at the excuse me. I played Rampage at the mini golf course all the time. It was an old 80s arcade machine.
I still have, the Rampage on the N64 as well as the ones that came out on PS1.
I have
Oh, man,
Rampage
those
on
are-
Sega.
But it wasn't the same as being in the arcade with 2 complete strangers playing that game.
True.
That was bad.
Yeah, it was different. I gotta say that.
Also, the sight of Cho'Gath in a top hat and monocle is just hilarious.
Oh, that's
Yep.
Gentleman
Hello,
Cho'Gath.
baby.
That's
Hello,
a skin.
Hello, my
It's a great
God.
skin.
It is a great skin. It's a legendary skin, so it's going to cost like what, $12-13?
I don't know.
Ew.
Be worth it though. And also, it changes his dialogue too.
Oh yes. Borderlands got an upgrade. You get the level up to 61 if you pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
Yay.
that.
Oh wait, I've only gotten to the first or the second area in the game before I got bored.
I've beaten it about 3 times. Fun game.
Yeah. It's fun game. They added another another playthrough too, so it increases the difficulty a little bit more.
So new game plus plus.
True Vault Hunter Mode Plus, I guess. I don't. I
Guess
don't
so.
know.
I don't really like the new game plus things unless it's like really changes up the story, because I played through the game once. Why do I want to play through it again?
Poor TechRat hasn't played through it at all.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I still have to get through the first one. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. There you
Oh, I'm far behind.
go. It's all right.
It's okay to be behind. It's
Blood,
better than being
gore,
so far ahead you have
sexual
no
themes,
idea.
and alcohol. Oh, we're in trouble.
This is true. Well, you see, I'm
Then,
one of those thrifty gamers. When Borderlands 2 hits $20, that's when I'll pick it up.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I still
Borderlands
need to
2 is the
make
kind of
you
game you can just
play,
keep playing whenever.
Yeah,
So-
it's true. It's true.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Then
I don't know what to think about Krieg. It's a little gruesome, so be warned, people.
Oh yeah, the new Berserker class.
Yeah, Krieg is yeah.
He's basically Borderlands 2's Brick. Yeah, he even has the super where he'll just go on a punching rampage, except instead of punching, it's a giant bladed
Axe.
cudgel. Yeah.
I like Borderlands 2. I like what they did with this, and really, to be honest with you, if they can keep adding more character classes, might be an interesting game down the road.
that brings up a question though, Draco. How many players can you actually have in a game of BL2?
4.
And there are currently 5 classes.
Yeah,
6.
so your point is?
Reminds me of the issue I had with Diablo 3.
There's like 63 different champions on League of Legends, and you can only play 5 at a time.
Oh, to answer Solar Cloud's thing, yes, they did spell Psycho wrong. They spelled Psycho wrong.
Yeah,
I think
you
they
try
did that.
telling it to that guy.
That's funny.
I think they did that on purpose. I
Maybe.
don't
He's so
know.
crazy he can't even spell.
Nope.
Do you want to
Well,
spell check him?
Oh god, no.
I don't.
If I want to keep my blood inside of me, no, I'm not spell checking him.
I don't want to spell check him at all. EA decided to do something different this week.
I don't know if it's particularly that different.
Well, different as in they think we want freemium games, so they're telling us to shut our mouths.
I think that's just usual, EA jargon. It's like, oh, you don't know anything. You're just the consumer.
Sounds like Game Loft.
If we tell you what you want, that'll be what you want.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to this. I really don't. And EA has promised to not suck less. And I can't see that happening when they still had the Battlefield franchise.
Well, that's only because they were voted the worst company ever this year.
They voted the
no.
worst company ever this year because of freaking Sims.
Yeah. Although, I don't think Battlefield is really their condemning game right now.
The Sims.
Oh, yeah. Sims is the condemning game.
SimCity,
Also, Medal of Honor.
rather, not the Sims. Because Sims 3 is a pretty decent game. It's just some
It would
money
be
sink.
nice if all the expansions were the price of a full game each.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, Incroft has a point. They did kind of kill the CNC games.
They did. They did. Okay.
I mean, they
It
killed Medal of Honor.
They didn't necessarily kill it. They put a lot of money behind it. The problem is, we'll never know truly who's at fault there for Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. But let's just put this out there. Before they merged with EA, they had a decent storyline. They had decent people behind it. But after they merged with EA, now all of a sudden they have, and I'm going to say it, porn stars, Tim Curry, wrestlers, and a whole bunch of female models that are in Playboy and other stuff. Just line up the cast. Put everybody that's pretty in front of the camera. Oh, who's the president for America on that game? I can't remember his name, but he's in the Farmers Insurance commercials, and he plays as oh god, Christian is gonna kill me. Oh god, the guy who runs I can't remember in Portal 2, the company.
Oh, Cave Johnson.
Aperture Science, Cave Johnson. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I had a major brain fart.
Oh, what was the same guy who plays J. Jonah Jameson?
Oh god, I
what's
can't remember his
guy?
name.
Shoot.
It's gonna haunt me forever. Chat,
Google.
chat, Google
Hold
it.
on, I'm on it.
It's a race.
Oh, J.K. Simmons. I think.
J.K. Simmons. There we go.
Thank you,
Kyle
sir.
got it. Kyle wins a
Thank you,
cookie.
sir.
Here's a cookie. I'm gonna eat it for you.
In before Meredith shows up and steals the cookies.
Hey, I don't make fun of Meredith. She's taking me to Five Guys next week.
Five Guys, Burgers and Fries. One of my favorite lunch joints.
Five Guys, where you only rent the food.
Okay, PAX East. I know we didn't cover everything, and I wanted to cover this last week, but
Oh my.
yeah. Transistor, really, really good-looking game. Like, really good-looking game. It's made by the same people that brought us Bastion.
Super Giant Games.
So, yeah.
I mean, looks kind of futuristic, looks very stylized, almost looks hand painted as far as the graphics go. Definitely very well stylized. Don't know much about gameplay yet, but we do know it's going to be narrated by the same guy who narrated Bastion, so it's going to be an interesting mechanic.
You mean it's not Morgan Freeman this time?
Oh god, I wish it was Morgan Freeman, but the last guy did an okay job. Let's be real here.
As close as you could get.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Had that great Western drawl feel to him too.
Mm-hmm. I am hoping it's going to be just a little bit less linear than Bastion. That was one thing when I was playing Bastion that kind of turned me off a little bit, was that it seemed like it was just very, very long hallways and such as you go through.
Yeah, it did kind of have that conga line feel.
Yeah. Although the quality was fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong at all. But so yeah, I'm really curious to see what the gameplay is going to be like for this one.
Speaking of gameplay, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just Bastion had good gameplay and whatnot, even if it was linear. I mean, the same argument can be said about Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 had good music, good gameplay, good story, just really, really linear. Linear is not necessarily a negative thing if it's done right. However,
it's a preference.
There's a difference between linear games and linear advertising, and SimCity's doing it wrong.
They
Hell
get
yeah, big
anything
time.
right.
Nissan ad, and that's not the only thing. There's a Dunkin' Donuts ad in the first DLC. It's free though.
Well, yeah, I wonder why.
What next?
could-
Pop-ups?
I could do all this, in SimCity 2000 with the texture editor.
Heck, if I wanted to see, all these ads pop up, I could just go to the equivalent and look at the poop cam. I'm not even kidding. There is a poop cam in SimCity.
Oh god.
D-Pad, I'll let you take this one. Rovio.
Oh yeah, Rovio. There are some people complaining that Rovio seems to have sold out, although they are making $194 million in revenue off of 45%. So if they're selling out, they're doing it pretty well. Because I mean, you can look around. There's Angry Birds plushies. There's Angry Bird board games.
Angry Birds
Band-Aids,
candy, Angry Bird shirts.
I think there's a video game too, isn't there? I heard there was a
but the video
for
game
Angry
apparently isn't good enough for people anymore.
Birds. I guess not.
No, now you can get Angry Birds plushies or the squeaky dog toys and throw them at people.
There's a board
True, I
game.
have a giant plush black Angry Bird around here somewhere.
There's
Well,
a
you get
that I
board
can
game.
launch at people.
Squeaky dog toys and fill it with BBs and throw it at someone.
You can deck out your whole room with, Angry Birds bed sheets, Angry Birds pillows, rugs, wallpaper. It's kind of nuts.
But still no breakfast cereal.
No.
Oh, give it time.
Oh
Give it
god,
time.
I remember the Batmans, the Batman to Nintendo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Bucky O'Hare cereal. Anybody remember that?
There's a Bucky O'Hare cereal.
There was.
There was.
Oh, I loved Bucky O'Hare.
But, I mean,
By
come
the
on,
way,
you load it
I'm
up in your
reviewing
spoon
that
and you
game
launch
soon.
them across the room, it would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Bucky
Hell
O'Hare
yeah,
is getting
stop
reviewed.
playing.
Show in the future for Angry Birds.
But here's the thing. I mean, it can make a good cartoon series. What other game series doesn't?
Yeah?
Also, yes.
As long as it's not Legend of Zelda.
It's
all
got to be
over again.
even if it's Legend of Zelda, it's got to be better than Annoying Orange.
True.
Oh, God. Alright, we're going to take a little break here. We're going to watch D-Pad's review of, God forbid, Aliens Marine. I can't even finish it. It's so stupid.
Break out the eye bleach.
Why did you choose to review that game?
To reprimand myself for buying it.
I guess so.
And to hopefully make sure people don't make the same mistake I did.
Oh, of course. Of course. It doesn't want to play it.
It's
Really?
his penance.
Don't you have the actual file, Draco?
I do, but I don't want to be lazy. Fine.
Just load the file, or I'm not taking you to Rudy's when you come to Houston.
Oh, that is just mean.
Luna.
Yes, Luna. I got moon butt. Lots of moon butt. God. I was not prepared for this.
We just don't know what went wrong.
I am now.
Let's face it, folks. Some games are just
3,
bad.
2, 1,
So bad that they can be seen as a bad idea
Black
from
screen,
long before release.
Actually, no, it's not, because it's not wanting to play right. So, let's do
You
this
can say that
again.
about the game too.
Let's face it, folks. Some games are just bad.
Blue
So
screen
bad that they can
Bronies
be
living
seen as
up
a
to our
bad
name.
idea from long before release. Maybe a smidgen. Some games have potential, but then completely blow it about halfway through the
Big
design
enough.
process.
Hey, you know
At
they can
least
hear
can't
you,
say
right?
it's false advertising.
They can hear you guys, so shh. Watch the movie.
Few games, however, can have the potential, the interest, and the team to make that game great, and yet still drop the ball harder than a blind quadriplegic playing football. This is Aliens Colonial Marines. I was actually really looking forward to playing this game. Gearbox was the developer, 20th Century Fox had backed it, and the demo looked amazing. Then on launch day, this game was basically dead in the water. The graphics are acceptable for a 2007 Xbox 360 game, not a PC game in 2013. The AI is stupid, your teammates can't help you, the enemy soldiers act like bullet sponges, and the aliens get stuck on walls. I don't remember xenomorphs getting stuck on walls. Nor do I remember them being punched to death by Marines. I'm sure the Marines are badasses and all, but you shouldn't be able to punch a xenomorph to death. The acid blood in the xenomorphs is an annoyance, but not a real threat. My only problem with it was when it was dropping my health by like the 2% to stop health regeneration to the second tier. Now, when I faced down both the aliens and the enemy PMCs, I started just killing the soldiers just for the item drops. Literally, that's the only threat they were. Mobile item drops. The game didn't feel engaging, nor did it feel challenging. A few times I died were due to either being swarmed by a whole bunch of aliens and having one of them glitch kill me from nowhere, or not being able to escape a grenade from a PMC. Also, on death, the death screens are stupid. If they're gonna freeze the moment of my demise, then actually freeze it, not have the aliens awkwardly dance around me half frozen.
Oh no, not again.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss, my wine. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
Check, please.
The game mechanics are solid enough, though. The menus are kinda irritating, unlimited inventory for weapon storage is kinda nice, and the LCD look of the HUD is kinda neat, but oh my god, does this game disappoint. As far as what went wrong,
I just don't know what went wrong.
the devs started pointing fingers at each other, so I don't really know. Timegate, Gearbox, and Demiurge all passed the buck, and you can bet that 20th Century Fox isn't happy. So in the end, we all basically know the outcome.
Sir, what happened in there? We the bed.
Well!
Well,
Well.
I can't think of a better way to sum that up.
Check, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say check, please. Would
Check,
basically be...
please.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so horrible.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally a glitch where the aliens can get stuck on a table.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like they're dancing like, what's his name? Hubert J. Frog?
Yep, from good old Warner Brothers cartoons.
Yep.
Table
watching
dancing
that...
xenomorphs. That's a horrifying thought.
Been done. Check the threads. It's there.
No. Not safe for Wuna.
If you don't want to get splashed with acid blood, don't sit in the front row.
Oh. Oh.
Thanks, TechRat.
No problem. Anytime.
There goes our PG rating.
Hey! I said
Good
blood.
night, everybody.
Blood.
Well, speaking of awesome that, Aliens Colonial Marines is not, Cryamore. They released their prototype demo. Too bad I can't download and play it.
Yeah, the Unity engine is a little fickle.
It takes forever. I literally left it on for over 7 hours and it still didn't download.
Are you downloading a game from Sweden?
I don't know.
Oh no, maybe Bangkok.
The guy that started this whole project is out of Chicago, so I'd figure it'd go a little bit faster than that. Now, the amount of gameplay I got out of it after it did load and before it crashed was pretty decent. It reminded me of Secret of Mana real heavily.
I love
really
that
strong
series.
I'm getting a really strong Crystalis vibe from this, actually.
Kind of.
As well.
Kind of. It's like a Legend of Zelda, Secret of Mana. It's new enough and interesting enough that it could be fun. I love the music. Let's get a little bit of that music on here. Because, I'm sorry, whoever they brought in to do the score on this is a genius. The music is engaging, it feels retro and classical and new age all at the same time. Yes, Black Sentinel, they should have put it on torrent, because it's a better distribution method, but the problem is they use Unity Player, which requires, I think, a PHP webpage.
Mm-hmm. Nice thing about Unity is it can be played in a web page with really good graphics like Interstellar Marines, not to be confused with Colonial Marines, because Interstellar Marines is actually a decent game.
Oh yeah, definitely decent game. It's I don't know. Unity is hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I want to go ahead and play the boss music that they have on here because it's also interesting. It reminds me of Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, you do enjoy that game, if I remember correctly.
It's my favorite game!
Yeah, cry a little more.
Cryamore? Okay.
Okay.
I am caressing my copy right now as we speak.
Speaking of which, Cryamore has a couple of voice actresses we know.
Mm-hmm.
Erica Mendez.
Is that so?
Erica Mendez and Kimlin Tran. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kimlin Tran's in Dust and Elysian Tale too, and she does a great job.
Oh yeah, Fidget is one of the most animated and well-voiced characters in the game.
I can't wait to play Dust on Steam because, really, to be honest with you, I'm not buying too many more games for my Xbox.
Nope.
And I can't wait for Cryamore to actually come out to where I can play it not on Unity.
Yeah, once it hits Steam. Didn't it hit that benchmark? I can't remember.
Oh, it hit the benchmark. It is going on all platforms.
Yeah, didn't it hit the couple 100% mark at one point?
It went up
403% funded on February 26th.
Yeah, it completely funded. It is 242,000. 240,000 was the console limit.
You gotta love that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kyle, I know.
People rally behind a really good
video games.
Kyle, I know who did it. They're just amazing.
Quick, Draco, interview them.
No. I won't. You interview them. I'm tired of doing all your interviews.
I'll interview them. I don't care.
The funny thing is, her last name's Tran. Kimlin's last name's Tran.
Guess we're on the Tran to success.
Oh, God. Stole it. Soiled it.
Soiled it.
Okay, TechRat. Do you like D&D?
On occasion.
Do you like being the DM?
On occasion.
Do you like torturing your friends?
Always.
Well, we might have a game for you then.
Yeah, Knights of Pen and Papers coming to
about it.
PC.
Yay!
Yes, the game that has drained my phone battery about 17 times over.
It's
Likewise.
so funny because they call it the +1 edition, which I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, free update if you already bought the game, but man, this game is great. You get to play as DM and as your dungeon party, and you set up battles, travel to distant locations.
Set up the room.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can, like right here, furnish the room. It's great.
It looks a little crisper than the original.
Little bit. I guess it's the move from, cell phone to PC.
Yeah, a little
pixel
bit.
difference.
Right.
But I mean, it's a very fun game. I've spent a lot of car rides, plugging away and killing my battery slowly, but totally worth it.
What
Another
else
game.
am I gonna do on a 4-hour plane trip to Seattle?
Well, another game that we've played the hell out of, I guess you could say. Magicka is going to tablets.
The Kill Your Friends simulator?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a live-action trailer too, which I didn't think that Paradox would do.
No, this is their second live-action trailer. Remember the one that was the Reservoir Dogs parody?
Kind of, little bit. I mean, it's one of the first big ones. And to be honest with you, really be honest with you, this one is more mainstream because it released on April. It was released, but then it was like previewed everywhere April 1st.
True, but the other one I'm talking about, the Reservoir Dogs parody, was actually on television. Mr. Purple.
I actually didn't get to see that over here in the Cincinnati area. We didn't air that part.
Well, it's really well done. This one's fantastic as well. But I'm just a Tarantino fan, so it's especially fun for me.
All I can say is poor Yellow.
Yeah,
He wasn't even wearing a red shirt.
Yellow doesn't get any love. I got a better question. Why is Red wearing no shoes?
The shoes are expensive.
Shoes are expensive, but killing your friend with lightning bolts isn't.
Because an orphan stole them.
He's already killing his friends! Kill the orphan!
What? Why would
You should have
kill
stole yellow
Scootaloo?
shoes.
Yeah, he should have stole yellow shoes. Deepat's got a
Is that a
point.
giant enemy crab?
That was a giant
Did we
enemy
hit the
crab.
weak point for massive damage?
Oh, boy. You guys are horrible.
Hey, you're the one who recruited us.
Yeah, you kept us around, so...
Well, if you've been paying attention to Twitter, and if you follow any of Microsoft's employees,
Oh ho ho.
you're gonna love this. Their creative director decided to tweet some stupid thing.
Oh yeah, like A-tier ignorant.
If you
Actually,
ever want
he
to
makes North
alienate
Korea
your
look
customer
good.
base,
If you ever want to alienate a customer base, you tell a country where, was it 30% do not have high-speed internet.
Yeah.
That always on console is the way to go because that's the world we live in. Because evidently dial-up is always on internet.
And why would you want to live in a place that does not have, top tier lightning fast internet?
There are places around the
'Cause
world
I
that
don't
are
wanna
still
get
stuck
shanked.
with AOL, for God's sake.
Some
Pity them.
parts of this country that are still stuck with AOL.
Here's the argument
what I
I'm
mean.
talking about right here on the screen. It's sorry, I don't get the drama around an always-on console. Every device is always on. That's the world we live in. Deal with it. And the reply to that is, off the top of my head, I know 5 people who own 360s currently have no access to internet. They would be screwed. Those people should definitely get with the times to get internet. It's awesome. Did you learn nothing from Diablo 3? And this is a game developer here yelling at him. Did you know nothing from Diablo 3 or SimCity? If people's internet are going to go out sometimes, right? Deal with it is a shitty reason. And yes, I know, I cussed.
Pardon our French.
Electricity goes out too. Might not want to purchase a vacuum cleaner. This guy should be fired. This right here is a PR fiasco.
You know, Draco,
yeah.
this kind of reminds me of there was a marketing or a PR blunder. It was some kind of fancy controller that Penny Arcade just ripped on the guy who was tweeting. It was a few months ago. I can't remember the exact details of it.
Okay, you want to see something funny?
Microsoft's response.
Here's the update to this article. This guy did not respond to Kotaku for quote, and he switched his Twitter feed to private. You know what that screams? Oh God, I screwed up. My company is going to, be in deep crap. I'm going to be fired. Brr, brr, brr. Yeah, Microsoft apologizes for his antagonizing tweets, but doesn't deny anything.
I was just going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's suspicious.
They're dancing around the issue like a cat on a hot skillet.
Let me tell you something right now. If Sony does not capitalize on this, they are stupid.
Oh, yeah.
This is handing...
Nintendo needs to jump on this.
This is like handing... I don't know how else to, like...
PR lives for this kind of thing.
I don't know how to analogize this another way besides handing Kim Jong-un a nuclear device.
This is climbing into a coffin and handing Sony the shovel. That's exactly what it is. It's so horrible that they would even try to do something like this. While I get the idea of it, while it's not a bad idea, take a look at our internet structure in the United States. We are way behind Europe.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, we got Google in the heartland a little bit, but...
One city, pretty much.
Two, almost, but yeah.
One city that's stretched across a river in two different states. Oh no.
But for the most part, the United States internet speeds are not all that great. Not to mention, you have several different companies that monopolize.
Oh yeah, big time. We need to get rid of that. There's certain, you'll understand, certain areas where you live, you can only get certain providers, and they know that. And they're just going to milk you out for all your money with bundles and all that nonsense.
Heck, one of our close friends gets, the slowest internet speed I've ever heard of?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He does. And he hates all of us.
100 kilobits or something?
Oh god, it's horrible.
Well,
Once they get wind that this thing's going to be always on, who's to say they're not going to start throttling back those particular connections?
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Inucroft made a good point. UK averages 5 megabits per second. But here's the problem. We do not have the better deal. If one of our nodes goes to a routing station that is through bad copper areas, the speed will lower so much that it might disconnect. And not even that. Our prices are set by companies, who own the wires on the county and state telephone poles or under the county and state ground. Over in Europe, the government owns the wires. The government sets how much people can sell it for.
Not to mention our prices are sold as up to.
Yeah, up to. It's not an up to. Like, I've got up to 25 megs per second. Some days I get 35, some days I get 2.
You mean I pay for up to 60 up and down, but that never happens. Sometimes I get stuck with 3.
Now hold on here, Inucroft. Not all of it's owned by the government. You're right, but there's a lot of it that is. They get to not have monopolies. The problem is here's what happens here in America. Comcast owns the entire monopoly for my southeastern part of my state. They own the lines. If another company comes in here, they have to pay Comcast half of every subscription they get.
For the privilege of using their equipment.
For the privileges of using their internet lines. Not just using their internet, using their lines. Now, the infrastructure for most of this stuff is also completely horrible because my box, my DNS box, is about 50 miles away.
All right, now that we've got that all settled, what's next on the itinerary for tonight?
Next on the itinerary for tonight is some guy is really dedicated to fighting his magic.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, really dedicated.
Like, arcade cabinet for this, which is, amazingly cool.
I'm guessing that's the leaked ROM.
Probably. But, I mean, are you really going to complain? It's in an arcade machine, for God's sake.
Considering this is the only fighting his magic we'll actually truly see. In its
True.
original form.
True.
I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking this. What could Nappy do with this? And for those who don't know, Nappy is from Main 6, and he is baller at fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. It's funny to see this, but it's also kind of sad because it reminds me, oh, this is no more.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're going to get llamas, goats, alpacas, whatever.
Cow, whatever.
Sheep.
As long as there's a chicken riding on the back of the cow, I'll be happy. Yeah, I went there.
Maybe. Alrighty.
Alright, we're going on to dice. I had a little interruption there because, yeah, I full screened it on accident.
A little bit.
I noticed.
Battlefield 4 is getting some dice support for Esports.
Now, what this means to me is that they could actually take out some of the usual EA jerk around and actually get this to be a fairly reputable baseline game. Where, kind of like what LoL is, where it's, mostly skill-based and, throwing down money doesn't really change how you perform. Unlike in Battlefield 3 currently, when you can unlock everything by dropping $25.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sounds like Star Trek Online with their ships.
Really, to be honest with you, the shooter esports genre kind of dying off.
I'd
It's
like to see it come back.
Supported is the problem.
The main problem is it's not being supported because you can hack it way too easy.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Is right now the only major esports are StarCraft 2,
League of Legends. Yeah, League of Legends is a major one. Dota 2 is kind of trying to take off, but LoL is just so big right now, it's not even funny.
Oh yeah,
it's the big dog.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, Halo in the past has done a decent job.
It did, and most of the console-only shooters do a good job. The problem is the PC shooters. They've scared away a lot of people because it's just too easy to hack.
Although, in the past, DICE has had a very good reputation for keeping the hackers out. I've played Battlefield. I've actually played every single Battlefield game, and as far as my multiplayer experience go, it's always been very, very good on ranked servers. Even on unranked servers, DICE keeps a close eye on, people trying to cheat.
Now, Black Sentinel is right. Dota 2 did dominate the hours played on Steam. The problem is, League of Legends hours aren't counted.
True.
It's, okay, the problem is this, and it's really just this. Dota 2 is heavy, and I mean heavy, on GPU. I literally had to stop my GPUs from melting when I was rendering at max graphics. I've got 560 Ti's, so that's not bad, but they are old.
A big part of esports is also you have to balance how good it looks with actually having as many people as possible to play. That's like, you're going to hate me for this example, but that's one of the main draws of World of Warcraft. That thing will play on a block of wood.
Yeah, it will.
Well, another thing is, if you actually purchase the Dota 2 beta stuff, which I think is like $30, they send you keys. Hell, even if you didn't, if you got sent a key, they send you keys. I've got 7 keys sitting in my inbox right now I can give away.
I'd love to know their marketing strategy behind that.
It is so horrible. And Kyle, I know you had no issues. The problem is my 2 graphics cards are old. Like, have dust in the fans that are caked on so bad that I would have to dump it in acid old.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, while DICE does have, Battlefield especially does have a repertoire right now, especially the new Frostbite engine of being, a PC killer up there with Crysis. Since it is hitting consoles as well for, the first time, well, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 were really the only ones to hit consoles and still have a strong multiplayer output. Yeah. So it is available, and you can really tone down, Battlefield games to your PC. That's kind of always been the case, but yeah, I'm just a little worried right now as far as, what they're shooting for.
Well, we saw an article on Kotaku not too long ago how Amazon doesn't like Nintendo consoles. And I don't know why. The article wasn't that in-depth, and it kind of just vaguely hinted at some reasons. So I'm kind of figuring out why a company that's based on sales would ever want to limit their sales on a popular product like a DS, especially when you have Pokemon X and Y, I almost called it Black and White 3, coming out this fall.
Call it what it is.
Now, to simulate why people are in uproar over Pokemon, there you go. we don't know what this is. If it's a form of Mewtwo, if it's an evolution of Mewtwo, if this is supposed to be like an Eevee evolution, we don't know.
Is M.A. Larson writing the story for this game?
Oh god.
and it's I don't know what to think. It's the new Mewtwo. Well, I don't know. Are you Game Freak, Intercroft? I'm not Game Freak. I haven't talked to Game Freak. All they've said is it's a new Pokemon. That's it. I don't know what to think. If it's a new form, I could be okay with it. If it's a new evolution, I don't know how I feel about a clone evolving.
Oh, please. Darwin has already been thrown under the bus in this game series.
True. But we can look on one bright side. The fire starter did not turn into a firefighting.
Oh, God. It's been like that for I don't know how long now.
3 or 4 generations.
It's so... I don't know what to do about this stuff. TechRat, for a fresh idea and a fresh look on stuff, what does your daughter think of this?
Of the Pokemon?
Yes.
The new the supposed Mewtwo evolution.
Supposed.
She hasn't seen it yet, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tried to keep her hooked on Pokemon, and she kind of fell out of it.
Maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe that is a good thing. I don't know if I'd want her to be exposed to the chaos that is going to ensue after now that this picture has been released.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think people are going to blow it out of proportion. I mean, if they decide to evolve Mewtwo, so what? Let them do it. I mean, it's the same thing. You made a good comparison. Whichever one of you said, did M.A. Larson write the create this Pokemon? It's a perfect comparison because there are going to be some people who just can't stand it, and there's going to be other people who don't care. So
I believe in Game Freak.
I believe in Game Freak. They need to make I believe in Game Freak buttons. Absolutely.
Somebody get home Pixel Kitties.
Some merchandising. Go.
Go.
Well,
but it's going to blow over, and everyone's going to accept it and be fine. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. And I think a lot of the people who casually play Pokemon are going to love the new one no matter what.
I mean, it's an addicting game. It's not going to stop it, but the problem is, okay, chat, I know they don't evolve in a Darwin way. I understand that. The problem is, how do you make a story about that? Because it's going to be put in an anime sometime. Mm-hmm. How do you make a story about that? Because they're going to have to find a way to make a story about that. And it's going to be weird.
Anime is so full of, plot devices and deus ex machina and contrivances.
True.
That, coming up with an explanation for this is child's play.
Right. We have Skitty and Waylord in the same egg category.
Yeah, a butterfly
What?
beats its wings 1,000 miles away, and Mewtwo evolves. They could come up with something as silly as that, and kind of gloss over it. I don't think they need to.
Is Chris Metzen working for them
What,
now?
slap a Ditto and a Mewtwo in the same room together for a month and see what happens?
There you
Oh,
go.
God.
There you go. They don't need to put any thought into it at all. They just need to draw an evolved version and say, here you go.
Well, next story is the Wii U is not getting the Unreal Engine 4, which is a sad thing.
Really?
Unreal Engine 4 is starting to look really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this console's not going to be getting it just either shows the console's power limitations, or that just a bad marketing strategy, I think. Could be the only other reason.
Always seems like Nintendo's graphically handicapped with their next-gen consoles. I mean, the Wii wasn't fantastic with graphics, but it was very innovative. They said they'd fix that with the Wii U to bring the graphics up to par, and then now here we are, and it's not getting Unreal Engine 4. Now, this could mean a couple of things. Maybe the hardware under the Wii U can compensate, but I don't think that's the case. But we'll just kind of have to have this one as a wait and see. My only issue I can see with this now is this, for third-party publishers, if Wii U wants to hit, the big kind of summer games and actually make some sales off of it, they're going to have to get ports, and ports don't usually work very well.
Yeah, it's... Go ahead, TechRat.
Oh, well, I think this is kind of telling us to where the Wii U is going, because, like you were saying with Nintendo, they're always a generation behind when it comes to the technology and their hardware. So, once the next Xbox comes out, and once the PS4 comes out, Wii U is going to be at a disadvantage right off the bat. And
Well, that's true, and really, to be honest with you, I think that the Wii U did way too much. It tried to be a social, not necessarily a media hub for the home, and it wasn't a console really. And this is more like a Netflix box, more than anything that can play Super Mario Brothers games. That's about it. I mean,
a lot of people don't understand what the focus of it is supposed to be. I mean, when you look at the GameCube, it's just another iteration. It's supposed to be better graphics, better sound, better everything. When you saw the Wii, it was motion control. When you look at the Wii U, it's like, what's the concept? It's much more ambiguous. People don't grasp it as quickly as they did with the Wii.
This is like buying a car with a laser beam, a windmill, dump truck tires.
Exactly.
And a credit card swiper.
Yeah.
It's so
they had their reasons behind it, but nobody knows what those reasons are.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way it works. And in the past, Nintendo has relied on the gimmick to sell the console, and figure that would make up the gap technology-wise. And I don't know if that's helping the Wii U this time, because the gimmick is so bizarre.
Yeah, it's really true. All right, next game. Actually, bit of news. Witcher 3 is going DRM free because, really, to be honest with you, Witcher 2 was probably the most downloaded game of 2010. I think I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was one of the top pirated pieces of software, if I'm not mistaken.
It still made hand over fist in money.
Oh yeah, CD Projekt Red made a killing off this game.
Mm-hmm. They actually promised that they will never make a game with DRM.
Yep, because, it's with their philosophy. It's like, we don't want this to happen, so we're just going to follow suit and just not take part of this. It's going to get pirated, but we still feel as though if it's a good enough game, people will buy it.
This is going to be something to watch. This is definitely going to be something to watch, and as a good example for other development companies.
CD Projekt Red is amazing when it comes to customer relations, because a while ago, back when they came out with the Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition, I randomly log into it via Steam, and what was it? They went ahead, gave me a notification. It's like, hey, here's a backup copy. So I actually contacted them. They actually looked at my Steam library, and about 2 days later, I have a code for GOG.com sitting in my email.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, that's one good thing about CD Projekt Red. They're really good at pleasing their gamers, because they understand if you don't please the gamers, you're not doing it right.
Also, they have the right kind of idea that, this isn't a game about deadlines. This is a game that needs to meet a certain, a goal of what we set. I mean, look at if you remember back to the trailer from, Cyberpunk 2077, they said, releasing when it's done. They have, these really almost top-tier expectations of what the game should be, and 90% of the time they make them, and if they don't, they fix it. I mean, look at Enhanced Edition. Witcher 2 wasn't playable on consoles yet. Then they, sought out to rectify it, and then they did. And then, boom, they're making a ton of money.
Yeah. Now, they're asking what, some people are asking what DRM is in the chat. DRM is digital rights management. Basically, what it is a way to prevent piracy. The problem is, it prevents people from playing. DRM has been known to shut down programs in the background to play the game, to prevent programs from launching, prevent macro mouses and keyboards from playing.
Sorry to interject, there was one type of DRM that would actually shut down the game if it detected you had a CD burner.
Yeah. There's a ton of different DRMs. I can't remember the name. The Serious Sam 2 or 3, I can't remember. That would spawn an unkillable boss enemy to come hunt you down. So, I mean, yeah, it's useless. People hack it within a day, and it eats up more of your computer resources to run it.
My thing is, Steam is actually a form of DRM. It's just a lesser of two evils.
It is, really, to be honest with you. And, the only thing that's evil right now is people think that, and this is going on to the next story, Hideo Kojima is evil. Hideo Kojima excluded David Hayter from the next Metal Gear Solid game. Thought that David Hayter was an okay Snake, but just wanted to freshen things up. I don't know why, but I kind of see his thought process a little bit. But it's kind of hard to take an iconic character and not have the iconic voice.
It's like taking Twilight Sparkle in Season 4 and having, I don't know, George Clooney voice her. Actually, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, David Hayter is like an awesome guy. If you ever got a chance to meet him. Ego Raptor got a chance to meet him in like 2008 or something like that. And he actually watched his Metal Gear Awesome and enjoyed it and loved it. So it was... he's up on stuff. He's a good guy. And I just loved it. One of the audience members asked him a question. If Solid Snake could provoke Batman into a fight, what would he say? And he just sat there for a minute. Nice ears.
Probably. I mean, God, David Hayter had that just really iconic, very, a little bit gravelly, just kind of protagonist voice that really just kind of demanded your attention and just had a certain cadence to it that is very unique.
Oh my God, Metal Gear! Yeah.
Well, he even said that he put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into perfecting that voice into all the different situations and all the 9 games that he did.
Oh, yeah.
So to put that much effort and that much thought into a character and then to have that taken away from you in the newest installment, I mean, he was really disappointed. He posted, I don't know if he tweeted it or if he posted it on a blog somewhere, or, but he was very disappointed that they didn't call him back for it. The interesting thing I think is going to be to see how different this new game is, and because I think now the fans deserve an explanation, and as to why this has happened.
They do,
and there better be something really out of left field for Metal Gear Solid 5 that required this kind of a change. I think people are going to be expecting that now. Like, this better be something we've never seen before if you're going to take one of our most beloved characters and rip his voice out of his throat,
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is how different is the game going to be?
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. If the game's going to be so different that they need to change the voice, that's fine. Like, if Snake's so old or so young that the voice needs to change, I could see that. That's fine. But if Snake's in the same timeline that we've been seeing, and the voice needs to stay relatively the same, that's just a bad move.
Yeah, well,
Exactly,
from what
that's
we've
what I'm-
seen from Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, same game, it's very different than what we've seen in the past. I mean, similar characters, but I mean, from what little we've seen so far, it's just
Alright, we're going to
different.
speed things up here since we're running long.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Injustice releases their full roster of heroes and villains.
Fighting gamers rejoice.
Woo!
Yay.
It's so interesting to see different people in here. I mean, you got Black Adam, they've got Doomsday, Catwoman, Lex Luthor, they've got Harley, Joker. It's a great lineup on the villain side, and on the hero side too. The only problem I have is they got all these the core Justice Leaguers. They don't really have any side heroes like any of the Teen Titans or anything like that I can see, except
True.
for Cyborg.
Well, you have
maybe.
Nightwing, but I guess he's core, I guess.
Cyborg would probably be a good addition to that.
Yeah. Wait, don't they have Cyborg, though?
I
He was
think
on the
so.
cover art.
Yeah, I think they do have Cyborg.
No, he's right there, right next to Green Arrow.
He sure is. That's such a different design. I couldn't even tell.
Yeah. Then they have Captain Marvel. He's always a fan favorite. And Hawkgirl made it. Huh. Neat.
The Hal Jordan Green Lantern made it, and not the John.
Do you have a problem with that?
I kind of like John better.
I don't know. Hal Jordan's a little bit more iconic.
Yeah, Kyle, I'm thinking the same thing as you. No Raven.
No, they have Raven.
They have Raven? I don't see Raven.
Yeah, they released her ultimate. It's she summons her father from Teen Titans series, and he does the four-eyed laser beam.
Trigon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting.
They have Raven.
I don't see Raven on
Princess
there.
Dashy. He's not on the list right now, but I
She.
mean, I definitely. I apologize. I meant to say
I'm
she.
telling Tara strong on you.
Oh,
Actually,
God, I'm done.
actually, isn't she over on the evil side? I thought she was like an evil version of Raven for this game.
Maybe.
That could be who's between Dark. Sorry, not
The Joker and the other guy.
No, that's Harley Quinn. That could be between Doomsday and.
That's Harley Quinn. Oh,
I can't
wow,
tell
that
who
did-
that is. I think that is Trigon right there.
Yeah.
They also have Deathstroke.
Deathstroke's not really a hero or a villain though. That's the. He's just kind of like an anti-person because he's been against the villains before. And he's been against the heroes before. I don't get that one, but we're moving on.
I guess they threw him more on the villain side because he's like a more evil version of Deadpool,
Yeah.
who's sane.
All right. There's a new game. Minuet versus Tardiness. No, it's not Colgate. It's Minuet. And she hates being tardy. And this is just a fun little game. I mean, it's the pony platforming project, which is pretty good. TechRat would like it because Trixie has a voice in it.
Oh, there we go.
Trixie sells stuff. She's like the annoying merchanteer. Got a lot of things for you today, stranger.
What are you buying?
What are you selling?
I sell anything but wheels.
Alright, D-Pad, give us a short synopsis of this Poker Night 2.
Alright, Telltale's Poker Night 2. If you recall Poker Night 1, it was when they took a bunch of characters out of separate video game universes, all threw them together in front of a poker table, and let you duke it out. In the second one, we have Brock Sampson from the Venture Brothers. We have, we have Claptrap in there. We have Sam from Sam and Max.
Oh, we have oh god, what's his name from oh god, BioShock. No, it's not BioShock, is it?
No, you're right.
No. Oh god, I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh god, he's got like a robotic arm on his right hand and he carries a lot of guns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Should
god.
say in the description, but there's also GLaDOS, making sure that nobody's cheating.
Sam
Except
from
for
Sam
those
Max,
who
Brock
work in
Sampson,
portals.
Ash Williams from Army Ducks. It's Ash. Ah! Oh, it doesn't look like Ash.
No, it doesn't.
Oh boy, Brock
But
Sampson
I'm
though.
excited.
That's just, I don't know. It
You
feels
gotta
like
be
a
careful.
Harvey Birdman.
It's very eclectic. It's like they're just pulling from everywhere now.
Well, they did that with the last one too. They had Heavy, and they had Tycho from Penny Arcade. It was
Yeah, but it was
Pretty
still
different.
all kind of centered around video games. You know, even with Tycho in there, you had Rain Slick, Precipice of Darkness was already out. The Heavy was in there, and I think Max was in there as well.
yeah, because you have Sam in this one.
Yeah. But now they're kind of reaching out like Venture Brothers. I mean, not that this isn't a really cool thing, but it's just kind of odd certain things that they're pulling out now. Like they're saying, okay, what's awesome in pulp culture? Okay, we'll go to Venture Brothers and grab a character from there, and of course Ash Williams will grab him.
Maybe they're hinting at a Venture Brothers game from Telltale. I wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't put it past them either. I mean, like the Harvey Birdman game was pretty good. So
yeah,
this is true. This is very true.
All right.
I mean,
to another mashup game, we have Project X Zone, which is like every Capcom major character in the world slapped together.
I'm so glad this is getting a U.S. release. This makes me so happy.
My favorite part? Hey, look at that red guy right there. Oh, that's Kite! Yeah, Dot Hack's still getting love. Love that game series. Got Mega Man X. We've got... Oh, God, I can't remember his name from Tekken. I can't remember. Ken? K-I-N, I think. You got the DJ from Space Channel 5.
Ooh la la.
I don't know who this army girl is. I think she's from, like, Valkyria. Can't remember. Ryu, we got Dante.
Mega Man, different Mega Man.
You got a lot of characters, and it's so funny because, yeah.
This is sort of like Capcom's Kingdom Hearts.
Got almost every Jen. There we go, Jen. Thank you, Solar. Yeah, I can never remember his name for life of me. Yep. It's been so long. I've only been playing Tekken 2 for like, I don't know, 15 years. It's got Namco, it's got Sega, it's got Capcom. It's just mashup to hell and back. It's gonna blow, I think, Capcom versus Marvel out of the water. I think.
Well, it's not like strict fighting game. It plays a little bit more like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's more of a strategy role-playing game, isn't it?
Yeah, I understand it, but I think it's gonna blow just in fan base wise. It's gonna blow Marvel versus Capcom out of the water.
Gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have Summon Night characters or not, Princess Dashi, but I do know they have some other Darkstalker characters that are not in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yep.
Yeah, this doesn't even cover all the incidental characters that are also in the game that just make appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I want to see the full roster for this game.
Might need a bigger monitor.
Yeah, because really, to be honest with you, I love this game already, and I just want to see the entire thing. And this is their website. It looks pretty cool. It's pretty slick. I'm not going to the Japanese website because I don't feel like waiting for 5 years for the damn thing to load.
True that.
This may be the game that gets me to buy a 3DS. This may be the one.
Yeah, Fire Emblem's a pretty good reason.
Well, that's true too. True.
Stalker's developers. Yeah, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about this because I didn't really play Stalker that much.
Alright. For those of you that can remember, a little game called Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, Stalker Clear Sky, Stalker Shadow of Pripyat, were a series of games. They were, I think, Soviet in development, and well, not Soviet, but I think it was Ukrainian. I'm not 100%, but they made some really good, post-apocalyptic games, and we haven't heard a lot of them since after Call of Pripyat, which was the third installment. And they kind of dropped off the radar. We heard rumors that they were making an MMO, Stalker 2, that went down once and twice. But apparently some people of the developers have crawled out of the wreckage of their last IP and are throwing together a MMO called Survivor, which looks pretty interesting. Definitely interesting take on post-apocalyptic, especially because it's in an MMO format, which surprised they beat Fallout to the punch. But
Fallen Earth is the same thing. Or not Fallen Earth, I think it's Fallen Earth.
Yeah, Fallen Earth.
Yeah, Fallen Earth, same thing. It's the same thing, but it was awful. It was god-awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this going to take place in the Stalker world, or is this going to be something entirely different?
I don't know. It might, but I mean, that's and that's in the ashes of Chernobyl. But who knows? Either way, I'm excited. I loved those games.
Absolutely. I played through the first Stalker. I loved it. Every minute of it was fantastic.
Yeah, the mods, though. That's what, the complete mods are what really makes that game fun.
I just want to ask chat, you think I should wake up Viral? Because he hasn't said too much. I think I want to post a Pokemon picture again.
Hey,
There we go.
it's not
Let's
my
get 'em
fault you
riled
guys
up.
are talking about games I'm not too interested in. I'm just sitting here playing Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda? Why not,
I'm sorry, what's that? I'm playing Link to the Past.
I'm sorry, what was that? Why not play, oh wait, you can't play it because it's just a movie. Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days is a 3-hour-long movie because you don't get to play anything. And now this is part of the HD remix. You get to play the other parts, like the other games, just fine. It's just this one game is just all cutscenes.
Where's the fast forward button?
Why?
3 hours of cutscenes.
Why? Did they not learn from Xenosaga?
And probably
Apparently
most of those
not.
cutscenes are just all conversation as well. Like, all the action takes place in the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the cutscenes are like the downtime. You're watching 3 hours of downtime.
It's not
And you
even
don't get a
interesting.
and you don't even get a climax. Because the climax is in the game, too.
Not even interesting. Speaking of interesting, not being, a part of major marketing design. Hit this one up, D-pad. The Ouya. Or Ouya, or whatever.
Ouya. Well, more like the Oy vey, because
Oh, no.
it didn't do so well. This was played up for a long time. It made a killing in the Kickstarter, and it just, as of right now, it hasn't lived up. Partially the problem here is that Android gaming, while it is pretty prevalent on phones and things like that, I don't know how much of a console market there is, especially for, Android-only games. Because from what I know, most of the big sellers in the Android market are emulators, so people can play, Link to the Past or even Wind Waker on a phone for 6 hours. I mean, they make Bluetooth controllers for the very reason to do that.
I got a question. Did they really have to market the name of the console and their buttons? Really?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Oh, and I'm going to reply to something in chat real quick. Kyle, 358 days over 2? Well, guess what? I didn't see a days in there, and I saw a fraction.
It's a stupid name.
And it's not Final Fantasy, it's a babied version of Final Fantasy, so I don't care. I'm going back
Disney
to playing
licenses
Pony
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy.
VI.
But yeah, just Android video game market as Android-only platforms, kind of shaky. Kind of shaky.
I think they probably should have reviewed it based upon what it is it's designed to do. I mean, yeah, the Android gaming environment isn't that great. If the console plays those games well, I think they should have graded it based on that.
Oh, I mean, they did. I mean, the game plays everything pretty well. I mean, the hardware is impressive for the little cube that it is. Not to mention, it's also fairly inexpensive as far as consoles go.
Well, it's $100, right?
Somewhere around there,
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, but nonetheless, it's not an XI3. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's running solid hardware for the size. Everything's fairly playable and responsive. It's just that the Android market just isn't there to really catch up and challenge it quite yet.
Right.
I mean, Shadowgun is a good Gears of War, knockoff. But I mean, honestly,
Yeah, Gameloft has a couple of interesting games that would play well on that.
but then again, that's Gameloft. You're going to be paying out the end of your fist to have any fun.
That's true too.
I mean, look at Gun Bros, for example.
All right.
God, you cannot play that game without dropping some coin.
All right, guys. The last two things we're going to combine. We're going to combine together. Resident Evil 6 came to Steam, and it's filled with bugs, like lots of bugs, like unplayable bugs that crash you to desktop constantly.
As if people need another reason to not play that game.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like they were pandering to the zombie games by throwing in the Left 4 Dead characters.
Yeah, and then Thief 4.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks like everything Dishonored wasn't, unfortunately.
Thief was a good stealth game. It's a good stealth game, and Thief 2 was pretty good too. I mean, you are not going to get any better at sneaking around with like Oblivion or anything like that has like a sneak and hide function as you are with this. You can get caught peeking over a barrel here.
Oh yeah. No, the functions in Thief are legendary for being difficult when it comes to stealth games. I mean, Dishonored came close. It reminded people of Thief, but it didn't hit the mark at all. Thief still has that benchmark for stealth experience.
Yeah. All right, guys, we need to wrap this up. Any final words?
I'm good. I'm done.
When do I get paid?
You don't.
Oh, what?
Never.
Sorry.
And TechRat.
Yes.
Should people pay attention, watch, and subscribe to the EQI YouTube?
Oh, geez, you make it sound like I came on here just to plug my own show.
Well, why not? You're here.
I would never do that. Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Only here on
Now,
Everfree
about
Network.
That shout
That's
out
right.
that we got.
Yeah, about that shout-out.
Yeah.
No. All right, guys. I hope you
we'll
stay
see.
tuned here. We have an interview with Kim Tran. It runs about 30 minutes long. We will be posting on YouTube as a separate thing, so if you want to stay tuned, watch it. That's great. Peggy Sisters Live will be next right after that.